much fun was that? I didn't know Carmen. Just come out.
Well, welcome everybody to this week's NHRU Match of the Round, brought to you by Rams, the Titan Group in Street Property. It's a big wet day here. Of course, the game has changed grounds, and we've got Maitland coming to town to take on Wanderers. Both teams looking pretty good this year, sitting up the top of the table, and today we're honoured to be joined by one of Newcastle's colourful faces, referees, one of the referees' bosses, trainers and extraordinaire. Plenty of cards in his pocket, plenty of tricks up his sleeve. Mark Eads, how are you, Mark?
I'm very well, Gareth. And,
no stranger to Passmore?
Yeah, done a lot of games here at Passmore, and big difference today made of the conditions. It's
and the teams.
And the teams. It's the old home team, which is Wanderers, played here many years ago.
Yeah, and good little bit of history there. Until they got kicked out. Until Hamilton came in from Shortland and booted the other mob.
Yeah, well, Hawks came in from Morris Park, and then this has been the Hawks' nest now for a good few years. And as we all know, the two Blues now are in at number 2. And number 2's having a bit of a rest for a couple of weeks. And here we are at the old Wickham Park.
Yeah, definitely. And well, the young Wickham Park across the road now, it's had renovations, but we are here today. Of course, these two teams, Wanderers in particular, they've proved everyone, I think, this year wrong. And they've come good. Everyone expected to finish them outside this top 5, but they sit sort of nicely top 3.
They do. Well, I agree with you there, Gareth. I think for me, after the first round, Wanderers have been the surprise packet. Dan Beckett's come back to coach the two Blues, and I think they're sitting second, so they're in a good position, and I think this is going to be a tight game today. Both teams, as you said at the start, both in the top 5, and Maitland, after winning the 2 earlier grades, will be looking to win the hat-trick.
Well, they're very unlucky in this corresponding game in the first round. Of course, we're into the second round now. We covered this game as our first match of the year for Rams and the NHRU. Wanderers probably should have won that game with a couple of missed tries. Simmons, in particular, dropped it cold under the post.
He did. I was there as well that day, Gareth. And
well, my co-commentator on the day, Jared Ryan, he had the double. Manu Simmons, he bought the double, and he was filthy on the way home.
He had it. As you said, that game was won by probably Manu. And I think he might be back today. Would that be correct?
Yeah, he's back today. Yep, they have getting the team sheets early. He's in the 12 jersey there today. Robards in the 13. Clackety comes into the starting side, and Ben Taylor starts at halfback as well. Lachlan Bradford, I'm interested to see. I haven't seen him this year play. I'm interested to see how he goes.
No, he's a good player. And if you looked at Maitland reserve grade today, they had Logan. They had Maxie Stafford. McCormick. So you get a good feel that the Blacks are here to play today, and they're getting a lot of their players back from injury.
A little bit of controversy surrounding the match as well. Wanderers wanted to play tomorrow at Waratah, and Maitland were having nothing of it. They only play Saturdays, the Blacks.
Yeah.
And it's ruined my weekend.
It does. It's we had all the referees appointed for tomorrow. We made a quick change, and just a note, Gareth, the referee today is Nick Gall, and Nick's been selected to referee at the Junior Championships, the Australian Junior Championships, and that's where Drew Tonks kicked his career off. So we've got
he's a very good referee, Nick Gall, along with Drew as well.
Yeah, no, we've got a lot of good young referees coming through now, Gareth, and the average age of our Premier 1 referees is just over 20.
Yeah, that's a very good sign for the future of rugby here.
Today, Harry Martini, a Green Junior, Merriweather Carlton Junior, is doing his first grade game up at the Bain Uni.
Oh, nice. There you go. Good pathways.
We've got a great pathway. Great scholarships,
they seem a lot chilled now these days compared to the likes of you and O'Donnell.
A lot of the young guys now, they just take it in their strides. You're 100%
very
right.
Good match management, cool heads, I think.
100% true, Gareth, and I'm sure Nick will do a great game today.
Yeah, definitely, and it is the match of the round for Rams. It is the Street Property Scoreboard you're looking at, brought to you by the Titan Group, who are also the Maitland major sponsor as well. It's going to be Wanderers here to kick off. Simmons comes back into this side as well. He wasn't named to start, but he's back in at fullback, and Sherwood, as they said in the paper, he's playing the rugby of his life at the moment.
He's
230 first grade games today, isn't it?
I think with Simo back for Wanderers, I think the conditions will suit him. He's a very good kicker of the football.
Well, there he goes now. He puts it nice and deep. Very good start there for the two Blues. So it'll be the first line out here, and both sides with very good set piece. And I think Dan Beckett certainly... He's brought a lot of structure back to this Wanderers side. No,
Dan's one of the coaches, very set piece here. The set piece will be strong today for the two Blues. They've got a very solid front row.
Here's Keogh now. Hasn't he been barnstorming for the Wanderers this year in the centres? Normally a number 8. As they take the ball forward here, again, the two Blues. One of the few sides in the competition that show a lot of patience at the breakdown. And, of course, Dan Kebbell comes back into the side too, full time now. He started here today for the first time, I believe, this year.
Yeah, I saw Dan earlier, and you're 100% right, Gareth.
Did you reach for your pocket? Just the side of him?
There's a few funny stories with myself and Dan, but that's for another time.
No, good. He's a veteran of the competition now. Was fortunate enough to play against him. Got my head taken off a couple of times, but that was all right. I'm short.
No, I think that these conditions are going to suit Dan today. I mean, he'll be on the ball, and it's going to be tough for the Blacks here. Once you get caught in your 22, it's very hard to actually get out of it.
Well, with Ben Ham as well, both those guys certainly provide a toughness to this Wanderers pack. As does that man there with the ball, Travis Brook. I think he's leading the Anderson medal at the moment.
He is. I think he's probably 5 points in front of the Hamilton lot, Tudi Asa. But I think we're going to see a few of the scrums today. Gareth moved off the old the wet patches. It's at least the rain has dried up. The ground's very heavy.
It certainly shows the pull that the two Blues have in town. Speaking to the coaches of Hamilton before, they thought they would have been kicked off yesterday, just with the reports of rain coming.
Yep. No, it's good to see the rugby's on. I know the women's game, Gareth, has been moved over to Hawkins Oval after this.
Well, that's a very good scrum by the Blacks. In these conditions, Wanderers with nowhere to go off their own feet, and the ball comes out now. Lovely run there. And he's been pretty good too, hasn't he, Robards? This season?
He's played solid.
He certainly adds the difference to Kalmanu with his flashiness.
I've seen the Blacks play a few times this year, and Matty Thomas has certainly got them playing a different style. I think you'll find the scrummaging today, the ball will be kept in, they'll control the scrum, looking for Wanderers to give away a penalty, and I think also you're going to see a lot of quick taps by the Blacks.
Yeah, definitely. Ben Taylor as well. You mentioned Max Stafford in reserve grade, but he's doing a good job to keep his spot up here in first grade. Ben Taylor, he's got a very good pass off the ground, and he's very quick from behind the breakdown as well.
And look, it's a good thing actually. Matty Thomas is a great coach. He's got Maitland firing in all grades, and this is going to be a very, very tight game today.
Well, the score's still 0-0. We're on halfway, and the Blacks slowly working their way up the ground. We'll see how this scrum goes here, if the Wanderers can hold this juggernaut that is the Black scrum. Not a bad crowd too, considering it's not really a home game. A home away from home. And that's a better scrum by the two Blues.
It's a good solid scrum by the two Blues.
Oh, a little knock onto the back, though.
Mistake.
Unlucky there because they held strong. And you could see the Maitland pack dipping and trying to push through, but just couldn't get there. Unlucky for the young halfback. Who himself, he's been good too, hasn't he, Sinclair George?
Look, there's some wonderful young players coming through on the Newcastle rugby, and if you look at the Colts side, last week they won the country week, and I think we won the 18s in Sydney as well.
Yeah, we did, yeah, and a few players getting picked in both country and the New South Wales side that was picked out of that.
There's probably going to be the little things like that today, Gareth, the knock-ons at the scrum or the knock-ons at the tackle. You know, it'll be a tight game.
And even blokes like Harry Chapman who've come back from the Sydney comp back to Maitland. I mean, that certainly shows how strong the competition is, attracting players back into the comp.
It is, and I think I could be wrong, but I think the trainer for Maitland today is Nick White.
Oh, is it? There we go.
They're trying to get him on the field today, but he's certainly out here as the trainer.
I don't know how Punchy Sager feels about that. That's another good scrum there.
Solid scrum by the Blacks. And
you think he's blown that too early? As Brooke now, he takes the quick tap. As you said, that's probably going to be the order of the day all day, but was that blown too early then?
Yeah, look, it could have. I think
it was probably going to go the way of Maitland anyway. So the two Blues have got the ball back. Dave Waller went into hooker today as Milanis is out. And you can hear the rain coming down.
Yeah, we had about 10 minutes of no rain, Gareth. Unfortunately, the rain is back.
That was Dan Kebbell with his first touch of the day. Now the ball goes a little bit wider, trying to exploit the edges, but it's turned over there. Beatty puts a little kick in behind. Manu's coming down the field. Can't quite get his hand there, though, on Tim Marsh, who evades the tackle, but it was danger time. Oh, charge down. It's going to be close, and it's not going to be close. It's a try. Lovely work in the corner. Good pressure. Great hustle.
Great pressure by the Blacks, and you called it right, Gareth. An attempted kick. Probably not the right idea in these conditions, and charge down, try in the corner to the Blacks.
Yeah, lovely work and good, as I said, good hustle. Good foresight too by Beatty to put the kick down there, play in the corners. He knows it's slippery, it's hard to come out of there. And they've started well, the Blacks, Gareth. They seem to be sticking to a game plan of solid scrums. They're keeping the ball in the scrums and moving forward. The two penalties they've had the quick taps, trying to get Wanderers inside the 10. And the third thing, as you called it, you're not going to run through the pitch. What they did is put the ball in the corner, make the two Blues turn around. One mistake by the two Blues and 5 points to the Blacks. Yeah, the two Blues, they do look a little behind the ball at the moment. The Blacks' defence as well is keeping them in it. There's been a couple of errors, as you'd expect, and that kick comes across and goes across the face, and the score remains 5-0 on the Street Property scoreboard.
I know it's only early, Gareth, but again, a good point you made. Maitland look up for the game today. Wanderers just a little bit off their game for the first 10 minutes. Probably Maitland have had the possession, probably 70-30, so we'll see what happens now. The play's probably going to be caught in the Maitland 22 here, so we'll see whether they run it out or actually kick it out.
Well, that one bounces up nicely for the Maitland player on the far side. And advantage being played. No, it's going to be a penalty. So, again, the errors by the Wanderers creeping in, the penalties, the discipline.
High tackle.
which is something Dan Beckett, he prides his teams on, discipline, and they've given away a few worrying penalties so far. That one gets up towards halfway.
Yeah, we've only had 2 penalties, both to Maitland. One for the scrum and one for a high tackle.
Bradford with the ball off the top. That is a good throw in these conditions.
Grab.
And a good grab, as you say. Now it comes out to Beatty. Beatty gets a little kick off the side of the boot. It's going to bounce up, is it? Almost bouncing up there. And they consolidate the ball, Maitland. I don't think that was intended to go a little bit deeper there. Now Howe, he goes forward. Sorry, was it Christensen? Howe's not playing today. That one comes back to Simmons. They jumped the gun a little bit there, Maitland. I thought maybe advantage could be played, but now it comes back. Beatty with a kick off the side of the boot. Back to his opposite number there in Sherwood. Sherwood puts it up as high as he can.
Good kick.
Here's Bradford. Bradford looking for runners. He shifted to the wing, has he, Bradford? Was named at fullback. Now they come across to Manu. Good defence there by the 2 Blues. In particular, Ben Ham. It was a very good battle, Ben Ham and Manu last time. Ben Ham made it his mission to get in his face, and in the end, Manu only just got the better of him by that winning try.
Probably a 10-9 to Manu. We won the game for the Blacks in round 1.
Well, here comes Simmons. Simmons gets under it nicely and punches it towards the sideline, lets it slide along the ground, and a good old-fashioned kicking duel here.
It is. No one's too keen to pick it up and run, and there's going to be touchy. Wasn't too sure here, but I
thought it might have gone out in the full there, but anyway, touchy. He's got the best vantage point.
With a touch judge today,
well,
Gareth.
We always will.
And the other thing we've got to mention is the Hawthorn Cup today.
It is the Hawthorn Cup.
So the 2 Blues with the current holders.
They've done well holding it for so long. No one expected it.
Well, the Hawks had it. It's only been 2 clubs this year, Gareth, that have had the Cup. The Hawks and the 2 Blues have had it for a good number of weeks now. Oh, it's a great grab by Brook again, I think.
Yeah, it was Brook, but he's lost the ball in contact. And Takali is throwing the ball in for the 2 Blues today. That's interesting, considering Dave Waller's out there as well, who can throw the ball. But Nick,
the 2 ends of the field, Gareth, there is, the cricket pitch is the area where there's not going to be a lot of running, but if you can get in the 22, you've actually got a stable area to actually do some running with the ball.
So Maitland's set. It'll be Wanderers looking to kick, and here come the Maitland pack looking to put some pressure on. Picked up the back there by Ben Ham. Ben Ham now, the quick ball comes for Kevill. Kevill taken down. Good recycling here.
Good break.
Opens up now for the 2 Blues. Just slipping off the defence there. It was Reid, was it? Now they come across. They look a little bit disjointed, though, the Wanderers.
Playing advantage here to the 2 Blues.
Yeah, penalty there. Nice work by young referee Gall. And Specsavers is still the sponsor of the referees.
Yeah, one of our great sponsors, Gareth. Been with us. This is their 4th year. And our other major sponsor is Slattery's. Pat Slattery. Great rugby man.
Great rugby man.
They've been with us for over 20 years.
Yeah, well, that is significant. And of course, if you do want to jump on board the referees, as we mentioned before, great pathways coming through. Plenty of young players, and young Drew, he was Shoot Shield the other day.
He does. Drew now does Shoot Shield every week, first grade, and he did a test match the other week, a junior test match between, I think it was New Zealand and Fiji, up at the Gold Coast.
So if you do want to contact the Referees Association, what's the details there?
Yep.
You can provide a young kid with a career.
Oh, certainly, Gareth. We've We've probably got over 100 active members now. As I said at the start of the game, our average age of our first grade referees is just over 20. You know, they've got to train, they've got to pass the fitness tests, they've got to attend the education. And this week we've actually got the ARU referees up here on between Thursday and Sunday. They're coming up to put together a new course.
Yeah, nice.
And we've actually got them here on Thursday night at training, but also 2 of them will be doing games next week in Newcastle, as well as an ACT referee and a Sydney referee.
Sharing it round, oh, that's good. And this is a
solid scrum.
Yeah,
the
this
Blacks,
is a good scrum
great
by both sides.
You'd be liking this, Gareth, being an old forward with the Greens.
Only by default. It was only where I slowed down and couldn't get a run anywhere else. And that one comes down and across, and again looking to play these corners, which is smart play, and off the side of the boot that time, so the pressure will come now for the Blacks. Keogh, I think, is the man out there for the 2 Blues. He's the game breaker. He's the one that can break it open for them here. He'll be the go-to man, you'd think.
Yeah, for sure. We've probably had, 15 minutes into the game, and 3 penalties, so not a lot of stoppages, a couple of mistakes and a few scrums.
Good win there by Batalina. Now it comes flat to Keble, offloads there, and now outside was Keogh. Dummies just taken about 10 metres out. Lovely ball by Keble. Now it comes back to him as they go wide. Can they get the hands there? No, they can't. So they're wrapped up about 5 metres out. They'll pick and drive here. The 2 Blues looking to hit back. Good quick ball off the ground. Waller driven back by some good Blacks defence off their own goal line, but here comes Alto now. He's so hard to stop from that far out, but they do well.
Go wide.
Here comes Sherwood down to Keogh with short ball. Can he get over the line? He does he? No, he doesn't.
About a metre short.
Very
Gareth.
Short there. Short ball, Simmons.
Pass.
Ashworth taken.
Forward.
Great work there by the Maitland Blacks. Great defence. Ashworth was caught without the ball, but good line speed there shown by the Blacks.
Look, that
Desperation.
started from a really good line-out win by the 2 Blues, as you called it, Gareth, and maintained the pressure. They threw it wide, they brought it back in, and took a wonderful tackle, I think, by the hooker for Maitland, and George Ashworth dropped the ball, and we've got the 5-metre scrum with the Blacks put in.
The ball by Keble, that was unbelievable, wasn't it? Schmidt, he went back inside, he had Keogh on the outside. That could have been the try, but not to worry. The 2 Blues now, they'll look to try and keep this Black side firmly in their own 22.
It's going to be hard for the Blacks to get out of the 22. Their scrum will be solid, so we'll probably see the line out. I'm sure they'll kick it out probably near the 22 with the 2 Blues to throw in.
So just a bit of time taken now. This match, of course, brought to you by the Titan Group. The Rams NHRU, round 10. Here's Robards looking to set it up. Good run there. That's a good settling play. Good option
Great
there.
run. Straight over the advantage line and gave their kicker an extra 5 metres.
Yeah, a bit more space there. Ashworth looking for the quick one, but good chase.
Good play by Maitland. Gareth, solid scrum. 1 hit straight over the advantage line, back to the full-back, and he's kicked it, 30 to 40 metres out.
Of course, another little story in this game. Marcus Christensen, obviously playing for the Blacks this year as well.
Yeah.
Good friends with Ben Ham and Dan Keble, so it'd be interesting to see how it pans out there. As Keble gets a lovely ball away to Ham. That is beautiful stuff there by the veteran.
Tell you what,
here
Gareth,
he comes again.
He's been in everything today in the first 20 minutes.
Good ball there by Sherwood. Oh, lovely tackle on the wing.
Oh, great hands.
Blackett did well. Tim Marsh pops a ball inside, and years gone by, he probably would have backed himself for the corner there.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit heavy there, but, as you said, Dan Kevill, for a player that hasn't played for a while, he is in everything today.
What's he been, 2 years out of the game, do you think, in Newcastle?
Probably more, I think Gareth.
Maybe 3, yeah. I think he have a couple of little runs up in Brisbane?
He did. I think you're right. It's probably a good game to bring him back to be honest, against the Blacks in the wet.
Good tough stuff.
Oh, tough player. Probably the toughest player I refereed, I would say, Dan Kevill.
Yeah, definitely one of the... Certainly in the last 10 years, he's been the standout.
It'll be good to see how the two Blues scrum holds up here. That's a good scrum.
Yeah, it is a very good scrum. Ball quickly to Sherwood. Now it comes around the corner. Chase Hicks loses the ball though, and here they come, the Blacks all just losing his footing there.
Straight into the cricket pitch.
And now it comes out. Keogh forces the error now for the Blacks. The two Blues are back on the ball. This is good stuff here by the two Blues. Battleina takes them forward. Tim Marsh looking to take some heat off his forwards. Going run there by Alatoa, is it? Ball comes off a Blacks play, but it's going to be called back for the knock-on.
Knock-on.
The crowd's certainly getting into it here.
Yeah, there's 3 penalties in the game so far, so Nick's trying to keep the game flowing, and in these conditions, Gareth, I think that's what you need to do as a referee. You need to sort of find ways to keep the game going, and 20 minutes, 3 penalties, it's not a bad job by young Nick.
And as you do see a lot of the statistics and stuff, over the last couple of years, I think I've noticed that the games have certainly flowed a little bit more. Is that something that has been worked on?
We have worked on that, Gareth. What we try to say to the referees with the penalties is look at the materiality, and if you can keep your whistle in your pocket, you do that.
This is going to be close. Sorry to pull you up there, but Tim Marsh, he's taken down, looking dangerous with the ball, as always. Now Ben Ham first hit up there. Dave Waller goes midfield. Awkward pass there. He's always popping up for a try, Dave Waller. Oh, unlucky there, Keogh. Now the Blacks come up with this. Davison.
The Blacks.
They go short side. Now it comes back, dummy, off the side of the boot again, so plenty of pressure on the kicker. Simmons.
Going to go down into the corner.
Yeah, he positions himself lovely, doesn't he, there, as Bradford traps it. Nice work there.
Yeah.
That one kicked into touch again.
Yeah, well, the two Blues had the territory there, Gareth, but as you call it, instead of going forward, they went sideways, and as soon as they made one mistake turnover, we're back to where we started to probably 6 or 7 minutes ago.
Yeah, certainly Maitland leading on the scoreboard, but I don't think they're actually winning the game at the moment. No, certainly not winning possession.
Last 10 minutes, it's been all Blues.
Kevill with a nice little short pass and a good clean out too. Calls from in the side, but I don't know about that as Ashworth now. He gets them over the 40 and into the Blacks' territory. They've turned the ball over, and Davidson, so solid. He's been one of the standout loose forwards over the last 5 years or so. And that one comes off the shin.
I think, as we said at the start, Gareth, it's going to come down to the teams that don't make the small mistakes. And, you know, the Blacks did a good job by turning the ball over, but one mistake, and we're back to the two Blues with the line-out throw. And the line-out's been quite clean today, given the circumstances, and both sides seem to be winning their own ball well.
Yeah, definitely well drilled. Here comes Kevill again. Kevill takes the line on. He's been in everything, as you said before. Sherwood, nice little ball behind us. Simmons, who looks nice and clean as Ashworth is picked up and driven towards the side. Keogh came around looking for the ball, and that's a nice tackle there by Robards.
Yeah, there's sort of a bit of a lull in the game at the moment. The two Blues have had the territory and the possession, but they're just making a few simple mistakes at the moment. And we've got another scrum where I'm sure the black scrum will be nice and solid here.
Yeah, the legs look heavy out there, don't they?
No, they're going to be some 30 tired players today, Gareth. It's going to be heavy on their feet today.
Well, still about 15 minutes to play in the first half here. Yeah, that's a good effort again by the Blacks, just taking inches. Beatty turns Manu, hasn't seen much of the ball here today. It's been kept fairly tight. Davidson does well to pick up off the back there. Plenty of mud on that cricket pitch, isn't there? There's Brook now. He has a go, but he's driven back. Good line speed by the Wanderers. Beatty now. He'll kick them out of trouble in behind. Is it going to go out the full again? Just a little bit too much on that. Thought he was kicking the leather ball.
Both sides, I think, Gareth, are just trying to run that ball through the cricket pitch, and you can't do it today. And probably the kicks today, Gareth, need to be a bit lower, as we saw when Maitland scored their first try. But both sides in the last 5 or 10 minutes just making some simple mistakes. So it's going to be the team that can settle now.
So 40 out. Good clean out again by the two Blues, winning the ball. Sinclair George takes one himself. They're forced to pick and drive here now, the two Blues. Have mainly come up with turn. No, they haven't. No. Wanderers consolidate the ball. Now running a little wider. Good control by the Wanderers. Oh, lovely short ball there by Sherwood.
That's better play by the two Blues. They've gone well over the advantage line now.
Now it comes back again to Sherwood. Sherwood puts on a little dummy, but it's not fooling anybody. Sinclair George draws a play, goes wide, and this is a good quick ball again. Here comes Kevill. Kevill gets his arm free again. Marsh. They've marked him well here today. Here's Kevill again. Kevill. He's taken 10 metres out. Sinclair George now. Flat ball to Sherwood. To Keogh. Keogh puts the foot down. Ashworth picks it up. And Ashworth goes over in the corner. It bounced up. Didn't hit him on the chest, but he did well to pick it up in the wet.
Great try, Gareth. And as you called it, Dan Kevill's in everything. He threw a great pass on the right-hand side. The two Blues maintained possession. And it was a great pick-up by George Ashworth. Wasn't a great pass, but great pick-up, and 5-all, and it's a try well-deserved by the two Blues. They've had all the possession, all the territory, so I think they deserve that 5-pointer.
Yeah, certainly has, and having Dan Cavill in the team certainly has taken a bit of pressure off Ben Ham, and he doesn't have to be in everything.
100%, and you know, for me, Dan's probably close to the best player of the field in the first 30 minutes. Sort of been a game of two halves in the first half. The first part of the half. Quarters, yeah. The Blacks are on top, and now for the last 20 minutes, the Blues are on top.
The two Blues, they've certainly played themselves back into this with some smart kicking, some smart footy, good line speed as well in the wet. Simmons. Is he going to sail or fail here?
I think he'll. I think this one will go over, Gareth. I'm backing him in.
Oh, and it's come around.
Hey,
He sailed.
it's the winner.
Lovely kick. So the Wanderers, the two Blues, they go in front for the first time here today. 7 points to 5 on the street property
Wish my
score.
punting was as good as predicting Luke kicking that goal, but it's a fair result so far. 7-5 to the two Blues. They're right back in the game.
Yeah, they certainly are. And that one goes across the ground, bounces up off the chest. And Bradford
Knock on the second one.
comes through.
And again, the little mistakes are the big game changes to get today, Gareth. And
Well, it's just taken all the pressure off Maitland, and now they're in a very good position here to try and do something with the ball for the first time, I reckon, about 20 minutes.
Yep, no. Last 20 has been all two Blues, so this is probably the first time the Blacks have been in the Wanderers' territory. They're going to have a good platform to work off here.
Couple of people watching at home. Ben Cahancy got it on his big screen. It'll be a big TV, that one too. 4K. Watching Bar TV in his lounge room.
Probably not a bad position to be in today, the old Bar TV in your lounge room.
That one off the ground. Beatty comes across, in behind. Oh, that's a lovely move there. Set move off the back of the scrum. They need quick ball to the right if they can get it. Bradford's calling for it. They won't. Too slow there as Davison comes across, and that's a penalty. Big pressure reliever there. Lovely work by the Wanderers. Chase Hicks getting all the credit for that one.
Yeah, he's got the Blacks for hands in the ruck, and we've only had 4 penalties at the moment, 2 all. So
gone are the days where referees got paid per quota. $1.50 a penalty, wasn't it?
no, as we said at the start,
Worse than the highway patrol.
they are the old days.
No, definitely the match has been allowed to play on. The only thing that slowed it down is the handling out there, but you can't take that away in these conditions. We saw the ball just getting wiped there with the towel. That one comes off the top, and the two Blues come up with it.
Good win by the two Blues.
Reed with a nice short ball. Again, it's Kevill with the green boots on. There was rumours he may have been going to the green, so maybe he pre-bought those. So penalty there.
Yeah, Maitland attacking the ruck, and the two Blues hanging onto the ball, and correct decision by Nick.
What do you think?
Go for the corner.
I think he's going to go for the corner. Yeah, I don't think in these conditions, middle of the cricket pitch, you're going to chance taking a goal. I know he's got the distance and the range, but that's on a dry track, not a heavy 8.
No, it's good platform for the two Blues to Blacks to attack here.
So 7 minutes remaining in the half. Calls a point down. Beatty drifts across field, bounces out of one. Can't get the ball away. The outside back's probably not quite aware there.
Just isolate themselves there, the Blacks, and two Blues got to it, and penalty to the Blues.
Yes, and it's going to be a Wanderers ball here. And they've done really well, the line out, considering the thrower, not the usual, not the regular thrower. Milanos out.
Well, one
on match
there by
day.
the Blues.
That time Ben Ham takes one. Now comes across to Sherwood looking for runners. Goes in behind. Finds Marsh. Marsh cuts, slices through. Brought down by Manu, though, from behind. Sinclair George takes one and gives it to Sherwood, who finds himself swarmed in black. And here comes Keogh. Keogh, lovely run there by the Wanderers centre. Reed bounces out one. Looks like Keogh might be down injured. Yep. Benham gets through, looks for support on the inside. Can he get to the line? No, he can't. The ball spits out the side. Simmons over the top.
Hands.
Marsh will go
Great
over.
Hands.
Lovely work. Good awareness by Simmons. It spat out of that breakdown and he picked up and popped it over. And in the end, you'll see on the Banlaw replay, it was a very well-worked try.
Great try by the two Blues. They've certainly in the last 10 minutes have just controlled the game very, very well. The line-out's clean. They're taking the ball over the advantage line. And that was a wonderful try by the two Blues. And a couple of minutes before half-time, they've got a handy lead given the conditions.
Yeah, a couple of minutes to go, and certainly at the start of the game we weren't predicting that they'd be in front coming into half-time, but they've got themselves back into this match through some very good plays, particularly by Dan Kevill in the forwards. Good interchange of passing and not really expected in this weather.
Dan's at every breakdown. He's tackling, taking the ball forward, and he's been the difference. And as you said at the start, having him supplementing Ben Ham, you know, it's been a real good decision by the two Blues to bring him into the team today. And
well, we just saw there Ben Ham was the one that made the break there, and I think that's due to, you know, the Dan Kevill taking that first hit. That time Ben Ham did, though they hung off him a bit and it opened up for him.
Yep, and with his green boots on, he's standing out at the breakdown.
This one comes across by Simmons, and that one's waved away. Not his good side.
12-5.
12-5 the score. You're right, on the Street Property scoreboard. In this round 10 of the Rams NHRU. And I believe you're talking about having a punt earlier on. Gumshoe, owned by Brendan Trummell, got up at Rose Hill today.
Okay.
He was down there.
Yeah, I don't mind a punt.
Well, we're going all right today on the Pony Boys, of course, on Par TV. So Simmons comes back for him and goes towards the sideline. That's a good kick there by Simmons and allows the chase to get through. Oh, good pressure there and does well to evade the tackler. Kevill comes over the top. Good clean out. There's some big, heavy hits going on out there as well coming into half-time. Still plenty of energy, and Brooke, he's been well contained here today.
Good defence by the two Blues.
Every time he's got the ball, there's been two or three around him off the line at speed.
That's a better run by Maitland.
Yeah, that was Manu there. Devante Manu. They pick and drive. Now Manu, short ball. Good hands, but under pressure still, the Blacks.
Yeah, going across field, Gareth.
Yeah, they're going to set to kick here and take some pressure off. Pick and drive. This is the dirty stuff we love, Mark.
And now they go wide.
Yeah, sucked a few in there. Robards now to Manu. Manu with a bit of space. Gets away from one.
Good break.
Gets away from another. Still going Manu up the field. Loses the ball forward though.
There's a collar tackle there.
Yeah, up around the collar.
Coming in the wrong side.
So a couple of things went wrong there by the Wanderers, and you can see why he's so dangerous, Karl Manu. That's only his second touch of the day here today, and he made about 30 metres off it.
Be too long to go in the first half, Gareth, so the Blacks have got a chance here now. Line out. Good attack.
Off the top.
Well won again.
Yeah, lovely work by the Maitland side, and here they come. Bradford takes the ball. Will they just look to pick and drive, or will they try and get the ball wide? I think in a game like this, I don't know what the story was with Chris Logan, but they probably need a Chris Logan out there, the Maitland side. Just one more game breaker to help out with Carl Marnev.
Yeah, I think at the moment the Blacks are keeping the ball nice and close.
Yeah, just content to go forward here. Oh, Beatty had a big look there, a massive.
One mistake again.
Massive look. Well, one mistake's turning into about 10 for the Blacks. They started off mistake-free, and that's half-time. And the Wanderers will go into the break on the Street Property scoreboard in the lead here, 12 points to 5. We're going to take a quick break and come back with all the second half action.
He's been in my car for 5 years. Right. This is my last one. Do that next one. No, it's not how it works. Oh, yeah. They haven't. No, I'm Beck's going there because Beck's, you know, Nick, Beck's brother, you know, Mike Ellis, he was school captain. Nick's over there, so. You want a jacket? Have you got a jacket or not? I've got another one. Yeah? Yeah, you want one? I've got it in the car. You going on the long, are you?
You reckon it's alright? You got just got to do stuff around kneecap and that?
Juggling. Oh, Josh is there and loads. Oh, Parker's there.
You got any cash? Do you have any cash on you? Like cash?
What do you need?
Pardon?
What do you need?
I just need to get on my car or something. Pardon?
Like $10.
Do you want to carry cash?
Somebody keep Huh?
I'm bloody freezing.
Oh, he's out there. Oh, Skinny's good. The nicest I've ever eaten in a football game. Yeah.
Okay, you're keeping it quiet there, aren't you?
What's that? What'd you have?
Are we getting done there? Fucking exactly there. No. And they're getting away with it. On the side. How inside was that? It was sitting next to Matt Thomas. Huh? He's angry.
We all have those issues. Hey?
You reckon I'll wear one? I could wear one at some stage. I like it.
I was warm there. Everything.
The world at the moment, I'm sure you're right at the moment. How easy is to get the confidence? His contract's 5 goals. He's on the other end of the earpiece. I told you. I would be fucking yelling. How is half?
Well, welcome back, everybody, to the Rams NHRU round 10 fixture here. We have the Wanderers in front, 12 points to 10, leading the Blacks of Maitland. And of course, the match brought to you by the Titan Group, Street Property and Band Law. And we've got Mark Eads with us in the commentary box. You've done some good work for us at half-time, Mark. What have we got around the grounds?
Around the grounds, Gareth, got the Greens leading Beaches 31-0. Nelson Bay 19, Uni 0. And Lake Macquarie, the Roos 36, the Bulls 0.
Well, some big scores there around the grounds today in these conditions, and a little bit unexpected, some of those bigger score lines, but it's definitely the match of the round here because it's tight. 12 points to 5. We start the second half. It goes straight in the arms of Dan Keppel, who immediately gets through the other side of the defensive line. Here's Alatoa. Takes them forward. Comes back now. Simmons. Did he swap jerseys at halftime, Simmons? Because it's still clean.
That's the backs for you, Gareth. That's the fullback.
Yeah, that's a penalty there. Might get a talking to. No,
and the quick tap.
Yeah, we saw in the first half they were all offside. Advantage being played.
Back 10, so he's playing the advantage. And
Travis Brook goes sideways. What do you think was said there at halftime? Dan Beckett probably the happier of the two coaches.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Wanderers first 10 minutes weren't in the game, but for the last 30 minutes they controlled the game. I'm sure Matty Thomas has asked the Blacks to get back to how they were playing for the first 10 minutes.
Robards looked like he might have copped a knee in the back or something there. He's struggling to get back into the defensive line. Well, we'll see Logan come back into it. Now they pick and drive.
That's a good run there.
Yeah,
well
good.
Over the advantage line. Another good run.
Well, this is how they started the first half, the Blacks, and now
Exactly.
it comes wide on. There's that mistake. Again, first one for the second half, and he just took his eyes off the ball again there. He's done it a couple of times here today.
100% right, Gareth. He just a quick look away, unfortunately. Simple knock on. The two Blues will get a scrum right in the middle of the cricket pitch.
Be interesting to see. Will they move it a little bit to the side there? They can't really, I guess, can they?
There's not too much you can do there. It's probably the driest part of the pitch where they're packing this scrum.
Good scrum there by the two Blues. That's
Solid scrum.
Yeah, it comes back to Simmons. Simmons shunts it down. Bradford fingertips, and now it comes back down the field, and Simmons
It's
gets
better
across
play
to
by
it.
the Blacks.
He was looking for the quick one, but a very good kick chase there, led by the kicker.
The two Blues are going to have to work very, very hard here, because once you get pinned down and you're 22 in these conditions, you've got to make sure you play good rugby and no mistakes.
Off the top. Nicely taken again by
Another
the two
good
Blues.
clean line out.
Yeah, and they drive forward too off the back of it. Comes to Simmons, who was under all sorts of pressure. Wasn't the best pass there from Sinclair George. Big thanks to Jimmy Gardner and Ben Homer, who have been on the mic for Bar TV Sports the last few weeks. I've been away, so they've done a great job. I'm surprised they had me back.
You're the main. You're the man.
I like it. Keep going. As we get back out into the middle. Another line out here. They've got plenty out of the line out here, the Blacks, so Marcus Christensen may be the target here, the bigger body.
Given the conditions, the lineouts have been well won by both teams, actually.
Well, Mick Davidson, he's not a small man, and Marcus Christensen, he towers over him, doesn't he? Out there, so it'll be one of those two guys that are looking to get the ball here. Lovely work there by Brooke. Comes across. Oh, Davidson was a little slow to get there. The set move was on. Sherwood has a bit of a push and shove with his opposite there in Beatty.
They did well to get the ball to ground there, the Blacks.
Yeah, just the no-look pass there was a bit too telegraphed for my liking.
Got a release in, the knees have hit the deck.
Davison picks and drives. Now they come off the ground. Beatty goes across field. Manu gets one, and it was a floating pass over the top to him. Wasn't
done the right
probably
thing
how he
there,
would have liked
Manu
it.
came back inside. Wasn't a great pass, and again they're holding the ball well and just taking the ball over the advantage line.
Well, the two Blues, if they win here today, they'll be the only side that have won against every top team this year. So it certainly goes to say something on how they've responded.
Yeah, well, they lost their
knocked out early in
first
the
two
semis.
games in I think the first 2 or 3 games of the year, and they haven't lost a game since the two Blues.
Certainly a very even Rams NHRU this year.
I think there's only a couple of points between the top 5, Gareth, and big day for the Bay today. They've got to win today to maintain pressure on the top 5, and
Well, they're up 19-0. Late Macquarie. There was talks that they were going to start struggling towards the second half of the season, but what was it, 21-0 up against Singleton there?
Yeah, 21-0
at Disneyland.
Yeah, if the scores are right, hopefully what we're seeing on the app are the right scores.
Am I allowed to call it Disneyland? It'll be tough.
No footballs.
It'll be tough out there today, though. Nice cold day at Bullaroo.
It'll be nice and tough out at Walters Park today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It'll be
tough day, and we've got the
imagine it.
Visiting referee from Sydney is doing the game out there today.
Off the top.
Well won again by the Blacks.
Yeah, the Blacks. This is their opportunity here.
Big part of the game here, Gareth.
Oh, another set move there. Bradford comes in, takes the ball, and Manu cleans out. They're set midfield, and that's a penalty to Wanderers. So, again, the Blacks. Discipline lets them down. They had the good opportunity there to get some points and hit back. However, it's not to be.
No, just isolated there. And again, the correct decision by Nick, and takes the pressure off the two Blues now, and we're going to get a line out 30 metres out with the Wanderers throwing.
Yeah, so Wanderers throw in. Be interested to see how they play this, if they play the corners here again. The two Blues off the top.
Oh, well won again.
That one kicked downfield. Lovely kick there by Simmons, turning the Blacks around and really forcing their bigger men to make chase. Coming through was Keogh. He launched himself there. We've seen him pull off a couple of very big hits this year, and that was almost another one. As Davidson, first man back as always, picks and drives and tries to get something going. Tries to hand off there to Manu coming through.
They've got to hang on to the ball, Maitland.
They're just starting to panic a little bit here, the Blacks. As Beatty goes for the touchline, Sherwood.
Yeah,
he's keen. He's run about 15 metres.
No, they'll slow it down, Wanderers, and I can see what Wanderers are doing when they're ready to kick. Mick Simmons comes in, Luke Simmons, I'm sorry, he comes out of fullback as he did there. He played a wider position, a centre position. And
not straight.
Well called.
Yeah, not straight there. In fact, it was so not straight. Israel Folau would have started a GoFundMe page there for that one, Eadsy.
Yeah, look, we tend to let the line-outs go, but as you said, that one was not straight.
Outside shoulder. That was like when I was throwing them.
That was an easy call by Nick.
Good scrum here by the Blacks. Going to the back for Ben Taylor to get the ball wide. Oh, that's not the best pass to Robards. Manu forced to pick it up. Now he goes wide. Bradford looking outpaced there on the wing. As they bring it down. Here's Brook, and again they go. They've got that shooter for Brook there. It was Ben Ham again. You can't tell because he's the dirtiest out there.
Yeah, we're back in the cricket pitch. This is Maitland just got to not make a mistake.
Chapman gets the ball away. And here they come now. The Blacks looking for support.
Catch and pass.
Just the draw and pass was there, and was it Clackety?
They did all the hard work. Gareth, one-on-one, poor pass.
Yeah,
take Wanderers off the hook again.
And in case the two Blues, they hold on.
As we said at the start of the commentary, that the simple mistakes are going to win and lose the game today, and that was Maitland's chance.
Off the top, Sinclair George to Sherwood, Sherwood to Simmons, and Simmons now, as you said, with that wide sweeping play, trying to get the kick away. They were a bit more alert that time, the Blacks, and that one's punched into the corner, doesn't go out. So Simmons is going to have plenty of time here to get it off the side of the boot and try and find the sideline. He doesn't. There's not much chase there, though. Everyone offside. Bradford runs back, and you can see the legs tiring there. Sherwood meets him. Good tackle. As Jimmy Gardner from the Herald says, he plays like another breakaway, Sherwood. Good over ball, good
he's had a solid game today, Luke.
Picking and driving.
So the Wanderers are attacking from defending.
That one's high on Robards. Yeah, penalty there. Sherwood, as we just mentioned his name, if he's going to go high on him, he had to get on the step ladder.
Yeah, that's through the 5 penalties against Wanderers for high tackles, Gareth. So I'd say Nick's been...
Good coaching by Dan Beckett.
Here he goes. As I thought, he would go up now and talk to the captain and just explain to them that...
it is tough in these slippery conditions when you're trying to get the ball as well, go for that ball. It does tend to sometimes slip up.
Yeah.
Especially littler man on bigger man.
It's taking time to slow the play down and just explain to the Wanderers. And the last few breakdowns, Wanderers have actually been attacking by defending. They're letting Maitland take the ball and then hitting them in pairs, and that's actually forcing Maitland behind the advantage line. And these conditions, that's when you make mistakes.
And I don't know if it's by purpose or by design, but occasionally they'll get the shooter coming out of the line too and putting the pressure on, and then the two
100%
sort of come up.
There's another mistake by Maitland.
Yeah, another mistake by Maitland. You can see a couple of hands on heads out there.
Here comes the rain again.
They're only hanging in here, the Blacks, I feel. But they're only a try away. Oh, that's a terrible line out there. No one went up for it. Now it comes out to Beatty to Davidson. He's the man to get them on the front foot. Slammed
straight over the advantage line.
Chapman driven back and slid back on that cricket pitch.
Another advantage here to Maitland. Wanderers coming in on the side.
Manu to Brook. Brook now gets an offload there. Slammed on his back awkwardly. Flung back. Advantage looks like it's been played.
Yeah, it's...
Well, thereabouts. That's Chapman, is it, going through?
It's better play by the Blacks. They're actually going over the advantage line.
Yeah, this is where they play good football.
They'll come back.
Yeah, good advantage played there by young Nick Gore.
Yeah, I think today with your advantage, Gareth, the ref. Well, I spoke to Nick before the game, and he actually said, given the conditions, he'll probably give the teams a little bit more. And although Maitland were going forward, they weren't actually making a lot of ground. So again, a correct decision.
What do you think he does here?
I think this will go in one of the corners.
Clackety with the kick and finds touch nicely. So the Blacks, they need to make something of this.
We've had 15 minutes and the Blacks have had all the territory, all the possession, but score's still 12-5 to the two Blues.
Yeah, 12-5. They're hanging in. So here they come. Can they put some points on the board here? So they go to the front, little sneaky move.
Oh, good play by the Blacks.
In the rain. Low risk play, but yeah, he's called the knock on, has he?
On there, but
unfortunate.
Is that young Simmons off the field here? It looks Simmons like he's injured.
He's been. I think has he been carrying a leg injury? So who's going on for him? Looks like has Ashworth gone back to...
Yeah, looking at that, looks like George has moved closer in. And that's certainly changed Wanderers now because young Simo was the controller with the kicking. Good scrum.
Yeah, lovely scrum there, and good defence by the Blacks, giving the new man on the field a bit of attention, which is what we like to see. Welcome to first grade.
You've got to attack the breakdown, Maitland, and force Wanderers into an error.
And Wanderers, as we said at the start of the game, they've been one of the better sides with their composure, but they're going to miss Simmons out there with his kicking game. As we see just there, here comes Clackety down the sideline, flings it into Davidson.
Let's play on, it's gone back.
Davidson, always the first man there now. Under a lot of trouble, a lot of pressure here, the two Blues.
It's going to be tough to hold out here.
They pick and drive. You'd have to think they'll go over here. They just need to hold the ball. Good defence by the two Blues, though. They're in tight, looking to suck them in.
Yeah, you've just got to hang on to the ball.
Here comes Christensen drives towards
leg
the
drive,
line.
close.
Very close, inches. Right next to those sticks now. I'll tell you what, if you got any closer, Gall's there. It looks like he's held up.
Held up.
Wow, good defence by the two Blues, and Sherwood's out there yapping at the Blacks and just getting under their skin, and they've had a couple of cracks now, the Blacks.
I'd say this scrum, Gareth, I'd say the ball will not move. They'll keep the ball in and just move forward.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the case there. Will we see a penalty try?
Well, we'll just have to wait and see.
Days like this were made for penalty tries. Push over scrums.
Well, I think of last week or the week before, we had the Hawks and the Roos playing here in terrible conditions. And
yeah, that was a bad day, wasn't it? Who do you think's got the best scrum in the competition? You've seen most of them?
Yeah, look, I think Maitland do a lot of work on their scrum. Hamilton do a lot of work on their scrum. And the other team that I'm impressed with, and they're a team actually that haven't won a lot of games, but they're always got a good tight five, is Uni.
Yeah, they always do have a good scrum, the university side. I think Nelson Bay as well. They've got they pushed around the Wanderers pack.
Yeah, up there today, and the Bay are winning now 26-7 over Uni. Big part of the game here, Gareth. 12-5, 5 metre scrum, Maitland put in.
They're going down the far side. Have to watch themselves here.
Yeah, look, given the conditions, we actually haven't had too many resets in the scrums today, so the lineouts have been clean and the scrums have been generally well set as well.
And the rain keeps coming, doesn't it?
Coming back. Good position to be in today in the grandstand.
Do you miss being out there? Do you miss being out there?
Oh, look, Gareth, you've got to understand it. I love the sport, but at 62, I'm enjoying refereeing. I'm enjoying refereeing the 17s, and as you can see today, we've got all our good young referees doing the P1s and the P2s, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to have a succession plan, and it's working well for us.
So here they come, the Blacks. Can the two Blues hold this scrum as they inch forward?
They're down.
Oh, the ball came out quicker than what I thought.
Play a long advantage here.
Inside. Yeah, no, he's going to blow it up.
And I'd say that the Blacks will take another scrum.
Yeah, you'd have to take the scrum again, wouldn't you? Travis Brook and Luke Sherwood. Wow, that's not a mismatch, is it?
No, Luke just slowed the play down a bit. I think Travis, I don't think they were ever going to take a quick tap.
I'm backing Luke Sherwood. I'm backing the Terrier.
He's a tough nut. To see him out there again playing first grade's incredible. And
he wanted nothing to do with it at the start of the year, did he? And wasn't his plan or intention. He's found himself there.
Refereed Luke many times, and Gareth, on behalf of the referees, the Sherwood family is a great family for rugby, a great family for the two Blues, and
Mark.
Even Mark. He was a good 5'8", but congratulations to Luke. Again, I'd say this scrum will go nowhere. The Blacks will win it. They'll move forward, and it's up to the two Blues to hold the scrum now.
Another text through from Ben Kahansky.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Another advantage
good
here.
advantage there, yeah. So might find themselves in some trouble. Another little tweet in from Ben Kahansky.
I'll take another scrum, I'm sure.
He wants us to get more animated on his big TV, Ben Kahansky. So it's going to be...
He's going to have a little talk to the two Blues and 2 scrums, 2 penalties. I would suggest if there's another infringement at the scrum, we might see the referee under the sticks.
Yeah, they're going to have to watch themselves as the conditions certainly playing a big factor in it. But if the Wanderers, if they can hold them out here, then 12 points.
Probably had, about 20-odd minutes gone in the second half, Gareth, so it's... The Blacks won't change here. That ball will just stay in the scrum, and again the pressure straight onto the two Blues. A little bit unstable at the moment, the scrum.
Yeah, it is a little bit. Wanderers obviously trying not to go backwards here.
Good scrum by the Blacks again. They're going forward.
You can see the
Here
legs
it is.
all moving.
I would say it's got to be under the sticks or a try.
Yeah, that's a try. Advantage was played anyway, but they did well. It's always good to see, isn't it? 8 bodies working together.
You know, an interesting one there because the referee had the advantage. So in wet conditions, maybe young Nick could have gone under the sticks for the penalty try, but the try's been scored next to the sticks, and good result by Maitland.
It was probably maybe safer to let the play go a little bit further.
Yeah, he let the play. He let the play. He was always in control of the decision, and as you can see now, he's just explaining to Wanderers what's happening at the scrums, and
yeah, they're going backwards.
That's easy to see. But that was well controlled by Maitland then, and the key's going to be the kick-off because it's going to bring the play back into the centre.
Yeah, they're going to have. I think they're going to have to go deep to the corners here, the two Blues, and try and start from scratch here. But now the Blacks hit the lead again, or is it 12 all?
12 all.
12 all. Sorry, my mistake on the Street Property scoreboard. I might get it wrong, but I tell you what, you go and see Street Property, they won't. Always been big supporters of rugby in Newcastle.
They've been great supporters, haven't they? And it's a good competition this year, as we said at the start, Gareth. It's a real good competitive competition.
Oh, that one kicked along the ground, and Bradford dives on it. Now it comes back. Nice high searching kick. Goes behind Marsh. What's he going to do with it? He's going to find Ashford. Hits it downfield. Davidson lets it bounce.
I don't think he's going to kick the ball.
No, he's definitely not going to kick the ball as he rampages forward. Lovely run by Davidson.
He's been the best player in the second half, Gareth.
And here's Bradford now. Bradford takes a hit up too. He slides about 2 metres forward after contact. Manu off to Brook, and Brook, he'll settle the play. They get a quick recycle there. Now they'll pick and drive, and the Blacks, they've got a spring in their step now.
First time they've swung it wide.
Manu offloads. Nope. They come back in field. Davison, he takes it to the short side that time. And this is much better by the Maitland side.
Well controlled. They're controlling possession. And they're not making any mistakes.
James Johnson with another carry. He's been strong as well today, Johnson. He's been in everything that comes at him.
Great play by the Blacks.
Yeah, this is great composure here by Maitland. Beatty taken down, chopped by Ben Ham.
Well controlled again.
Now they spin around.
One mistake again by the 5'8".
Yeah, again, but they looked good that time. Composure was well held.
They're different Maitland in the second half, Gareth. I think Matty Thomas has just refocused them on the game plan, and what we've seen in the second half has been the game plan. Keep it tight, take the ball over the advantage line. Nick Davidson's been wonderful. Brooks been outstanding, and the only time Wanderers are in the game in the second half is when Maitland make the silly mistakes like we just saw then.
Well, this is going to be a worrying scrum for them anyway. They went backwards off the Maitland feed. They're going to have to hold their own feed, which is always tougher, especially when the Maitland side in an attacking frame of mind now.
It's going to be a tough one here for the two Blues. Just looking at them, I think they're probably just going to throw the ball, try to take it over the advantage line, and then back to George, and then a clearing kick from the second phase.
Yeah, they pick up off the back. Ben Ham slips there, and it was the best option for them to take, as you mentioned. Now, good counter
advantage to Maitland with hands in the ruck. That was an easy decision.
Good counter-upping by the Blacks there.
Easy decision now. Do you take the 3, Gareth, or do you take the scrum?
I'd be taking scrum, given the last scrum they had.
They're taking the 3. Interesting call with about 12 minutes to go.
Yeah, very interesting decision. The score's locked up at 12 apiece.
So you take the 3, you're in front by 3, but you take your advantage back to halfway. You take the scrum.
It was a certain 5 points for me. That's a silly decision.
That's an interesting decision. You know, probably would have taken the scrum and then kept the ball in tight.
So the ball is hit, the flags go up, and that is a successful penalty taken there by the Blacks. So 15 points to 12 now the score. So restart now. The Blacks in the lead for the first time in a long time, and that ball comes down. I think it's going to be a knock on there. Yeah, advantage now to Maitland. Everybody clapping there. I thought the option there for the two Blues was to go as deep as they possibly could there and try and play down in the Maitland half, but wasn't to be.
No, I think total different game the second half, Gareth. It's been all Maitland, and even though they're only leading 15-12, they do appear to be the team that is likely to win the game.
Max Stafford on the field too in the 23 jersey. Well, that's a good replacement there.
And a replacement with 10 minutes to go to bring on Maxie Stafford. And
he wasn't going to play this year either, was he?
No, he wasn't going to play, but
he moved to Newcastle. But
I think Maitland having such a good coach as Matty Thomas, and you can see the change in the Maitland club with Matty Thomas coaching them, and
well, they've had a very good club for a number of years. Take nothing away from them, but certainly has applied a bit more structure to them this year. Take nothing away. They made the grand final last year.
One of the strongest clubs in Newcastle, Maitland, but you know, Matt's brought a different focus, and he's got a lot of what I call the old guys helping him, Timmy O'Toole, and always a strong club, especially up at Marcellin. And today they won the third grade and they won the second grade, and to beat Wanderers in the lower grades, you know, the club's doing well.
Yeah, that's right. Always strong lower grades, strong club, as are all the city-based clubs, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of work's done with the juniors and the Greens, the Hawks, the Blues, the Roos, wonderful juniors.
Yeah, they have got very good juniors. Good catchment Adelaide Macquarie.
You know, this year all the clubs are working hard, and one of the big pluses this year, Gareth, was the schools competition.
Yeah, definitely Steve Merrick Cup.
Where they aligned all the clubs with the schools, and I think each of the clubs have got a number of players playing junior rugby now, so that was a great tick for the board.
Yeah, definitely. Now it comes wide. Beatty searching for runners, and again the kick cleared over the head of Keogh, and it goes towards the sideline. Oh, plenty of pressure there somehow. Ashworth gets away, and Keogh is a recipient of a pop pass.
Got to hang on to the ball now. About 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, 8 minutes to go, and the game's still in the balance. Only 3 points separating the two.
Good turnover there by the Blacks.
Yeah, they seem to be getting the little things right now, the Blacks. Now they'll pick and drive again. Well, that's a penalty to the Wanderers, though. So
yeah, just isolated himself at the last pick and drive, and Wanderers are over the ball and hanging on, and a correct penalty against the Blacks. This will give Wanderers their first chance to move into the Blacks' territory.
Well, they haven't seen it inside the Blacks' territory all half, which is completely opposite to the last half.
This is the money part of the game now, Gareth. Under 10 minutes to go.
So they'll be looking to win this line out, set it up. Comes off the top. That's a better line out there, or somehow.
Well won, but silly mistake, and the ball's been turned over, I think.
Sinclair George probably not letting his forwards know he was running away to receive the ball, and rather than standing and receiving. So they've turned the ball over now. It's going to be a penalty, though. So
that was silly.
Simmons was on the field. Maybe you take the shot at goal, but I think without a recognised goal kicker out there, they'll go for the line.
They'll bang it into the corner there, but that was a silly penalty by the Blacks. Hands in the ruck, and again a correct decision by Nick.
Oh, hasn't found touch. Bradford does well. Not the best pass infield, and they'll look for distance, and they find a good distance there. So another let off there for the Blacks.
We kept saying this, Gareth. The simple mistakes make the difference, and not putting the ball out has just cost the two Blues about 20 metres.
So time is ticking for the Wanderers. There's an injury down there. Can't see who it is. Is it Cavill? Yeah, the green boots. He's had a big game. Been a little bit quieter.
Yeah, second half he's probably slowed up a little bit, and
well, they haven't seen the ball.
Haven't had the ball. You know, simple game of rugby, Gareth. You maintain possession of the ball, you win the game. And second half, Maitland have done that really, really well.
So here they come.
And the rain gets a little heavier again.
Doesn't it? What? Beautiful morning this morning.
Well taken by Maitland.
Yeah, lovely one-handed carry, and here they come through the middle, the Blacks. One more try should seal the game for them. It's in the balance. They go short side. Short ball to Davidson. Davidson again.
This is what they've been doing really well, and as you said before, Nick Davidson's had a remarkable second half.
They tried to go short side there. I don't mind that little play, but it goes out. Tried to push the pass.
Quick line out, but the line out was well and truly set, so come back to the original line out.
I think the best option here for the two Blues is to try and drill it into the corner and force a mistake from the Blacks, make them play out of their own half, because in this weather...
they've lost it again.
Yeah, the Blacks somehow come up with that. Did they know? The two Blues have it.
Over.
Now they move forward.
They're going wide, the two Blues.
Chase Hicks over the top. Tim Marsh, we know he's got pace, but he's going to be cut off there.
Yeah, straight back into the cricket pitch. This is going to be hard work for Wanderers. They're just going to hang on to the ball.
Now Sherwood takes one forward, had no options. Good line speed was the cause of that by Maitland. Short ball to Marsh, down the sideline. That cricket pitch has almost turned into the sideline. Now here they come, looking for some bigger runners in midfield.
Lost the ball.
They turn it
Advantage to the
over.
Blacks. He'll come back.
Bradford kicks it downfield.
Good play by Maitland.
Great decision there. Now
That's straight out of the coach's textbook. Drill the corners now, make Wanderers do all the hard work.
yeah, that's the play that Wanderers probably should have done the play before, to play Maitland down in their own quarter.
Yeah, these conditions, Gareth, it's so hard to run the ball through the pitch, and the pitch now is basically the whole centre of the field. So,
Well, I think Simmons coming off as well. That's
big
been
loss
a big,
for Wanderers.
Big,
I mean,
big
he was
cause of their field position, and
he was the general of the general play, especially the kicking. And since he's been replaced, Wanderers just haven't had that extra pressure to take them out of their quarter.
so we're getting close to full time here.
How long we got? I'd say there's probably 5 minutes to go.
5 to go. And they go high and long. Oh, that's a lovely
well
take.
won again by
and,
Brooks.
And taken
Penalty
in the air. So,
That was an easy decision for the referee there.
yeah,
Gareth.
definitely a bit of frustration by the
won the
Wanderers
ball
there.
well in the line out, Travis, and he was brought down. But, given the conditions, it's been a really hard, clean game, hasn't it?
It has,
It's
definitely.
just been a good, hard game of footy.
And they're going to go for goal here. This will soak it up. And this will put them.
Yeah, 15-12. If he kicks at 18-12, it means the two Blues are going to have to score and kick a goal.
Well, we've seen stranger things in the Rams NHRU, that's for sure.
Yeah, I've seen many games won after the bell this year, Gareth. I haven't seen as many games this year as in the past years.
Yeah, certainly. We've seen it. They all seem to happen on the Bar TV Sports Match of the Round as well. So the Titan Group, major partners for the broadcast. And Rams, major partners of the NHRU.
Well, given the conditions today, I think we've done well getting the 4 games of rugby on, and
so lining up for the kick now. Here come the Maitland side. Looks pretty good off the boots. No, just to the right of the uprights there.
interesting to see what the two Blues do here, whether they go long or they go short.
Yeah, I think definitely they've got to get as much field as they can. That one kicked towards the middle of the field. There's a bit of space on the edges. Beatty goes around. Beatty goes through looking for support now. And that's a good kick return there. Now, just dropping the ball.
Offside, the two Blues.
Yeah, well offside.
Offside.
It was Kevel and Badalina there, the Argentinian. I think this time they'll go.
Yeah, it's a total different second half, Gareth. All Blacks, they've maintained possession. Mistakes to a minimum, and at this stage, with only a few minutes to go, they look like the winners.
Yeah, well, that's right. You like him here, Mark? I'm going to back him in this time.
Yeah, we've done okay. I think I'm going to join you on this one, Gareth. I'm going to back him in as well.
So Beatty will surely seal the game here. He comes in, he strikes it, doesn't strike it that well, so against the right of the uprights again.
Well, look, in these conditions, still not a bad result because it's now up to the two blues to go 70 metres.
That one comes across. Oh, Davidson shows the soccer skills there. The Wanderers come up with it. Now they have to go 80 metres or thereabouts to get in front. They go short side. Oh, juggling the ball there, getting away. It was Marsh.
Lost it forward, so
Yeah.
we've got the advantage to the Blacks now.
So that could almost be game there as they pick and drive.
Penalty to the Blacks.
Penalty to the Blacks again, and you'd have to say they'll probably soak up some time and maybe take another shot here.
Yeah, I'd say they'd be asking Nick how long to go here. I'm backing the ball in the corner here.
Yeah, good kick. Great kick. Up to the 22. In this weather.
Yeah, look, to be honest, Maitland have just about played a perfect half in the second half, Gareth.
Yeah, they have,
Davidson
definitely.
has just led them so well, and Travis Brook in the line-out's been outstanding.
Max Stafford coming on as well. He's added certainly a bit more direction to it this last 10 minutes of the game, taking nothing away from Ben Taylor. Had a very good game as well.
They've turned it over here, the Blacks. Oh,
Flick pass.
good hands by the Blues.
Playing off their own line. No, it's going to be called back. Yellow card, late hit, late shot, I believe.
Yeah.
Did he blow that too early?
Yeah. Well, I think, given it was foul play, Gareth, I think he's done the right thing in these conditions because it was late, it was high, and it was worth a yellow card, and he got a yellow card.
So now they're looking to play to the right. Here they come, the Wanderers. Marsh now looking to get outside. He's been marked well all day and doesn't get the ball in the end. Oh, good hit there, midfield. Was that Chapman? He got underneath his ribs, and now they're looking to play that short side again. They need something to happen out of nothing here, the Wanderers.
It's going to be hard work for the two Blues. Just got to hang on to the ball.
Ashworth gets around one. Now finds Keogh on the outside. He's dangerous. Good tackle around the legs. Taken out.
He's gone out.
And is that going to be full
That's
time?
full
Yes,
time,
it is.
Gareth.
So the Blacks come away with a solid victory here at Passmore. Thanks very much for joining us here in the Rams NHRU marquees. Before you go, who was your best out there?
Second half, brilliant performance by the Maitland back row, Nick Davidson, Gareth. He was
I'm with you.
outstanding.
I'm certainly with you there. Thanks very much to all the partners, the Titan Group, Street Property, and indeed Banlaw. You see the Banlaw highlights throughout the week of every single game played here in the Rams NHRU. It's round 10. I'm Gareth Wozik, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks, buddy. That was really good.
Looking good, Willie. Right?
Maxi step with bloody
All right, sweetheart. Everyone's watching the table.
Hello? Have a nice walk around. Yeah. You're happy.
Yeah.
Hello?
Oh, because he's fucking retarded.
Your legs must be Look at the shoes.
I'll wash up.
Oh, maybe come down with it.